Well, it's that time where the challenges for this year come to an end. And what an amazing year we've had. But to finish 2023 off with a bang, I thought it would be fun to build a Christmas themed team. No special requirements like dogs or cats, just to get into the holiday spirit. All the rules still apply like my last runs, however, just to spice things up and melt the ice. So, with that in mind, could we beat this challenge? I'm writing the script as I go along with the video, so comment down below if you think we're gonna beat this challenge, and what Christmas themed team would you go for? Hit the subscribe button, ding on the notification bell, come join the family. With that said, let's get gaming. And well, already we have a problem. My footage got corrupted. So to catch you all up, my starter is Mr. Flibble, and I caught myself some pigs in blankets before giving Katie, well, a bit of a spanking. And well, that's all she wrote there, so let's just move on. I searched long and hard for our stubborn little reindeer, and I got knocked out again and again until I finally caught ourselves Rudolph. With a strong Pokemon on the team, I plot a course to the stony cliff and go on head-to-head against the King Crab. Mr. Flibble's water gun is actually a lot more powerful than anticipated. In fact, it wasn't long before it got taken down by our penguin alone. So going from one battle to this was a thankful experience. After all, I got no time dealing with this. I gotta save Christmas in Paldea. So with that said, we grab our badge and give our new sleigh some go faster stripes so we can quickly arrive in the town of Artisan. And despite my penguin being weak to grass types, we have a way to go forward. I actually let Mr. Flibble go first so we can hit hard against his staller Petalil, and despite the weakness and getting put to bed, she falls when we wake up. I managed to get a charm in before Smoliv crits us. Not the end of the world, as Pig Blanket can now use Echo Voices and build up power to take out the Olive, so this leaves the Mimicking Tree. With that said, Browsius paints a picture and terrastallizes to grass. The problem is, Trailblaze speeds it up, so we hit a hard Echo Voice before we get outsped. So this leaves Rudolph. We intimidate before we begin to hit hard, and we get close to falling before Perseverance is on our side and Rudolph lives to fight another day. We're only just scraping wins here, so I know it's only going to get more and more difficult further down the line. So with that in mind, I think we should get our next Pokemon. This one, I think it's controversial, though I think it works. I went and caught an Eevee. And well, why my mind thinks this is a Christmas-themed Pokemon? Well, by calling it Sakura, giving it a bath, and somehow mistaking a shiny Toxel, our little fox evolves to the beautiful Sylveon, who looks like ribbons or bows for wrapped up Christmas presents, as well as the fairy and or angel on top of a tree due to its typing. In addition, our pig in a blanket becomes even more delicious as it evolves to Oinkologne, before heading out towards the West Province areas. Things get a little dangerous when Arvin tells me about fallen rocks. We get to the top to battle Bombardier, and our newest addition is seriously going to help here. Mr. Flibble charms the bird before going down, so when Sakura comes out, he can hit super effective disarming voices, and when Rudolph gets forced out, my reindeer and his rock did so well. But after we do our work, in discovering the next Herba Mystica, despite getting another badge, there is something we must do. And that is to say goodbye to one of our squad members temporarily. And that is unfortunately Rudolph. He's going to undergo some big training. But for now, we do get another Pokemon to replace. Say hello to Robin the Fletchinder. And the name is pretty self-explanatory of what it is. So, with works in the progress, I've received further up to the Siege and Squad base. Despite him only having 2 Pokemon, I have to select a minimum of 3. So I settle for Robin, Sakura, and Mr. Flibble, who absolutely annihilated the grunts. So this leaves Giacomo, our first boss. And well, let's say he's definitely on Santa's naughty list. He starts with his Poniard against my Robin. He hits hard with Aerial Ace, though flame charges take him down. So this leaves the Starmobile, which another thing I may mention, he's under the age to drive. He intimidates and Metal Sound hurts, so I chip with what I can. When we fall, Mr. Flibble is honestly only there to charm his attack down, so it's down to a 1v1 against Sakura. We can take a lot of special hits whilst also hitting hard, comfortably taking his car to the scrapyard. With that said, I head over towards the City of Lights to take on the next gym. I'll be honest, I'm also confident about this one due to the half of my squad actually weak to the typing. I wish I had Rudolph here at this stage, though we just have to make do. It will be worth it. Once we arrive at Lavingia, I do a little exploring and found the perfect addition to our squad. It's not very Christmas themed from the outside, but he's called Cole, which you'll all be getting for this Christmas if you don't hit that subscribe button. Steven, naughty. Mickey, naughty. Louis, naughty. You're all on the bad list. Call for everyone. However, Nimona is surprisingly on the nice list, but I don't see anything nice about her wanting to battle me all the time. Regardless, Mr. Flibble tries to take care of our Rockruff, but we miss 4 times in a row. At this point, I give up and switch to Sakura, who eats a rock throw before actually doing damage, and just survive against his rock throws. However, the rest are a lot easier, taking a big risk on palming, which works, and Mr. Flibble doing some solid damage against Crocodile. But that's where we're going to start to struggle. So after studying away on what we're going to do, I take on the gym mission. I have a slight idea on how to do this. Once Cole evolves to Carcole, and in the nick of time too, it's time to take on the gym leader and her electric types. Watchroll is up first, and we are bulky, so we comfortably take a spark and knock it down with a single ancient power. Bellybolt is next, and I switch to Mr. Flibble, expecting Water Gun, before charming its attack start right down. I hate the fact our Penguin is bait, but needs must unfortunately. However, Sakura can come out and chip with Disarming Voice, and quite comfortably too, despite paralysis. Luxio is out, so I then set up on the Lion too, cutting its attack down before finally falling. This works so we can build up our speed with Flame Charge, so this leaves Miss Magius. She normally has no weakness with Electric Terror other than one thing, Smackdown. So when she terrastallizes, I... shit. And with that, our Hog falls to Charge Beams. Though this plan can work well. So I go again, and the exact same thing happens, although Sakura was able to throw in Sand Attacks into the mix, as well as Cute Charm, so Luxio had a really hard time hitting. So when Cole comes back out, Luxio falls. And now it's time for the ultimate plan to work. We outspeed and do a lot of chip damage, ready for Pig Blanket, who comes out and finished the job with a dig. We actually came in clutch here, but if it wasn't for my pig, we would have honestly had it. Honestly, I hope the training will be worth it. The name's Clive. Oh, come on now. You know Santa has been watching, and you lying to me isn't going to go well. However, I pushed that to one side and challenged the next Team Star boss, Mela, the Fire Squad leader. And I believe this one will be a lot easier than the last battle. Exact same as the previous Star boss. She uses 2 Pokemon and the minimum is 3. Torkoal is first, and I send out my coal supply, resisting its attacks. I hit hard with Ancient Power until he falls. One small cart against, well, a car. However, I am able to hit hard and take the Blazing Torques. Let's also not forget the rain comes into play as well. If I'm being honest, my minecart was able to single-handedly destroy Mela. It's amazing what can hit hard despite being the same typing. So next on my list was to take on the Steel Titan. And that smile isn't going to buy you out of mischief, mister. So I get to work, and with that said, let's move swiftly on because this thing was too easy to take care of. I have literally 2 fire types at my disposal here. Our next stop was in the water city of Cascaratha, and I think it's time we get a bit of a makeover for our character. Well, a new bag and gloves to be precise, before getting a quick glimpse of what seems to be the gym leader. The marshal asked if I could bring his wallet back to him, but is he on the nice list? Oh, go on then. I battle trainers through the desert, getting closer and closer towards my goal. And we also get Magical Leaf for Sakura as well, eventually catching up to him. And he straight up asks me who is underage to bid on some seaweed. That's surely a naughty list contender, right? I win him the seaweed to just take him down in the gym, and lost a huge bid for bottle caps, which could have come in handy. Oh well, I get a great move for the trouble anyways. So now it's time to face the gym leader, the King of Seas, Kofu. My fire types have been ditched, and Pig Blanket is first up against Veluza. and I build up my speed with huge trailblazers before being too short on Echo Voice. So my original plan fails, although his Veluza falls to a Sandstorm too. Sakura is next against Wugtrio. We hit a hard magical leaf before he flinches us, and that is sadly either going to make or break. We only just take it out with the speed drop. So all I can do is set the baby doll eyes, and Sakura takes the L. Mr. Flibble remains, and we get crit. Not great. I go again, and this time Sakura is up first, and I stall out with Draining Kiss before I get to the opening to hit hard with Magical Leaf. And then Wugtrio is out. I then chip his attack down before falling, so Pig in Blankets can then set up Echo Voices. Though we get confused. I don't understand my bad luck today with statuses, though eventually we take out the worms. Once again, his crab terrastallizes, and this time we hit up. That's it. I hate this thing so much. Third time should be the charm though. I instead set up on Veluza with Mr. Flibble as much as I can so it gives our pig a fighting chance to hit hard. So I bulk up my speed before beginning my sweeping plan. So with us not confused, Echo Voice is at the maximum 200 base power now plus my stab, meaning Echo Voice is now a whopping 300 power. So that gets it over half before falling, which means Sakura needs a single magical leaf to get us the win. And that was only just a clutch of a win if that. But with 4 badges, we're officially at the halfway point. But I think the next battle is going to be much tougher. However, it's time to bring back our beloved reindeer. Rudolph went for some undergoing training at the academy to become the ultimate weirdeer. And just in time too, because the next star boss is Poison. And no, I know Startler can't evolve in this game, so it technically doesn't count. But let's not forget, Startler learns Psy Shield Bash, the move it's supposed to use to evolve when it evolves. So who thought that was a good idea? Sorry, rant over there. I head over to Lagtree Thicket and take on the leader of the Poison Crew, Atticus. Skuntank is up first, and I send out my Pig Blankets first. We do big chunks of damage, but the poison gets too much and we start to lose numbers. But Mr. Flibble is next, because the rain is out, and from there I can really start to hit hard. Or not. Mr. Flibble goes down, but Cole is next, and of course we get slapped around with mud. We can't hit, meaning we go down. This just leaves Rudolph, and I'm gonna be honest, we can't single-handedly take him on. Not like this. I'm already starting to get pretty sick of looking at this screen. I have to keep trying, and yet it just doesn't get any better. My team is getting a huge beating, though between Rudolph and Mr. Flibble, we were able to take care of the second one with just a quarter of my health remaining. And I don't even know how it came in clutch thanks to the defense boosts. I just know that this challenge is going to get much tougher further down the line. But now with that out the way, the majority of my team can get a huge boost, starting with the winter form for Deerling called Comet, who is my personal favourite reindeer. And despite Robin evolves to the mighty Talonflame, which isn't a Robin, we can no longer use it. However, Cole evolves to Colossal, our newest addition evolves to Swordsbuck, and Mr. Flibble evolves to Empoleon, before finally entering the city of Madali. The challenge is definitely not bribing me spending money to win auctions whilst being underage, but eating, which is so much better, right? Well, no, because I didn't actually get to eat. Then yet again, magical people don't need to eat, so I'll take the gym battle instead. I send out Cole against Kamala, take the yawn and hit a hard body press before switching to Mr. Flibble for free as he tries a sucker punch. A surf takes it down. The Dunsparce is next, and I take a huge drill run as well as a glare, though we hold on long enough to take it down, leaving Staraptor. At this point, I may as well fall to send Cole back out for another body press, taking 2 huge facades to the face. But that's not the only one who wants to battle me. Nimona is up for another scrap, and she was easy to deal with. Cole burning like a rock before switching out to Comet, who gets his debut, taking down Goomy as well as her Pormo. This reveals her fully evolved Ace Skeledirge, and when Comet falls, Mr. Flibble can do some huge damage. Our team is starting to really become the ideal team it needs to be. But this is where the fun stops, because a lot of my team are slow. So I get farming for some speed EVs before grabbing ourselves a Christmas tree. but also finding Shiny Sneasel! I'll take that! And yeah, you guys can win this one by becoming an elite trainer on our memberships program for only 99 pence. We also have some cool emojis as well as a VIP lounge in the Discord server, so if you want to support the channel, consider joining. And I would be extremely grateful as a Christmas present if you would hit that subscribe button. We also catch Santa the Delibird, which is probably the most Christmas themed Pokemon here, so we have to add it to the squad before taking on the Ghost type gym. The challenge is simple, to defeat trainers in double battle form, putting on a show before the main act herself, MC Rhyme. I send out Rudolph and Cole first to set up Reflect as well as Stealth Rock. We avoid the Sucker Punch for this reason, and then we switch out Cole for Mr. Flibble. From there, Mr. Flibble builds up Swords Dance and Side Shield Barsh increases our defense. I'm having to rely on setting up for this battle. Bennett barely holds on, but with extra defensive buffs, we comfortably take out Mimikyu, and the audience gives us an attack stat boost. Houndstone does outspeed and disappears, which to my mistakes, puts Rudolph in a really tight spot. Hyper Voice takes down the reindeer, and yeah, she gets the boost she needs. This was really bad play from me. Sakura is next, and I baby dollize the Houndstone before Mr. Flibble falls to discharge. With my team crumbling down, the audience helps at the last second for "You had one job!" With a lesson learned from the only mistake I made, I go again, bulking up my stats as much as possible. I have to take things a lot slower to be able to make my mark, bulking up on my defense as well as my attack, for Mr. Flibble to hit hard. Discharge paralyzes us, however, meaning our Penguin falls once more, and we can barely put a dent in her team. But Cole survives the beating from both Pokemon, and once a final Hex takes it down, Sakura retaliates, just giving us the win. And only just! I don't know if we got extremely lucky, or our patience was worth it without being too slow. But with another badge down, we're off to our next stop. And that is against the giant Iron Treads in the Asado Desert. Normally I'm quite confident, but this time not so much. This thing is bulky and quick, and not many of my Pokemon are great against typings or have coverage, so I know this one is going to be tough. But Mr. Flibble was strong enough to surf it to the eastern seas of Paldea. I actually wasn't expecting it to use Iron Head, so that went easier than expected. So another Titan down, as well as another badge. It's on to the next location for us. I head further down with my full Christmas team that I will be using throughout the rest of the run. But after bumping into Nemona once more to force a battle, which isn't really good list material, the good news is that she was easy to take care of. And without any further pushing, I take part in a Zumba class to not only prove myself for the gym, but to also get rid of the jelly belly Santa has. Once we pass, it's time to take on the gym, and Santa actually gets his debut against Farigiraf. Foul Play does huge damage, which two of them take it out. Gardevoir is next, and we fall to a Psychic at this point, although Comet can hit hard with Smart Strike, and Horn Leech for recovery. Espadra puts us on the brink of death with a Psychic, and we miss the Mega Horn! Down my Comet goes, though Rudolph eats a Psychic like no tomorrow and takes it down with a couple of Shadow Balls. This leaves one terrastallized plant, and to my surprise, outspeeds, so this leaves Sakura, who doesn't do anything. Yes, I actually lost to a makeup artist. Though I go again, reluctant to win, the same thing occurs, despite the critical hit on turn 1. Santa's fate is sealed just like last time, though once Comet takes out Gardevoir, I continue to heal with Horn Leech, though even that falls short, so I have no choice but to send out Sakura first, to finish the Ostrich off, and nuke Forge's accuracy. But Rudolph can come out and finish the job. Not the cleanest job, but my team are sort of struggling here. Hopefully with new moves coming our way, things should get better. So with that said, it's time to take on our final gym leader for the challenge, and I'll also catch our final Pokemon in Paldea, this little Cryogonal called Snowflake, before we attempt the Ice-type gym. This one may seem easy, though I'm expecting it to be a nightmare. I, however, have an idea. Cole is first against Grush's Ice Moth, and as it goes for Tailwinds, I go for a quad-effective Flame Charge, which boosts my speed. Though this may have been the most stupid move I could have done. And well, it goes south from here. Beartic Earthquake in my Cole supply to the ground, Rudolph is able to survive enough icicle crashes until the tailwind goes away, but with my big hitter out, I have no option but to lock it out, and then it dawned to me. Once Rudolph falls, Sakura's baby doll eyes as well as sound attacks are enough for Mr. Flibble to set up swords dances. In fact, max out our attack to be able to hit hard with metal claws. Again, we're just scraping wins here, but the move roster is getting better and better within time. And I think it's time we do just that. Mr. Flibble and Santa get the movesets they desperately need, as well as Sakura getting an upgrade too. I travel all over Paldea to make this one possible. Or maybe I get stuck trying to climb up a cliff, which I haven't got the upgrade for. However, I am very stubborn, so I carefully tread the Great Crater and get enough room to glide to get it. And once I've finished grabbing the rest, we're ready to take on our next target, Ortega and his fairies. Thankfully, I have a lot of great contenders. I settle on my 4 for the Star Barrage without any issues and proceed to battle. Azumarill is first against Comet, and Hornleech does huge damage, plus despite the charm, we're able to grab an early lead. Wigglytuff is next, so I decide on switching to Sakura to reset the attack, as well as charm his rabbit down. I know what Wigglytuff is capable of. I actually decide halfway through this round to just take it out. It's Dashman next, and I need to charm. Though if I did that sooner, I would have lived it. Comet is back out to chip away and heal, barely surviving on 2 HP. Though even that isn't enough, so Comet falls. Though, so does his dog. This leaves the Starmobile and I go all out. Magical Talk, barely densers, and a couple of flash cannons later breaks the Karth apart. We really needed these new TMs, otherwise we would have personally struggled. And it just goes to show setting up isn't always the answer. But next is the sightings of our last Titan, and Arven points us in the right direction to take it on. This is something Comet can actually single-handedly take on, actually beating the Catfish up with ease. Though sadly, that's not the Titan. So Arven, you're now on the naughty list for lying. Still, it could be worse, but we switch to Sakura to able to hit hard and dodge to take down Tatsugiri. So with that, that's a tasty sandwich, a happy dog, and a lump of coal given to Arven for Christmas. Though we still have work to do. This leaves the final Team Star boss, Eri, before the home run. She is the specialist for fighting types, so this will be interesting with the team I've chosen. I started with Rudolph against Toxicroak and take a Sucker Punch before a quad-effective Psychic takes it out. Lucario's next and actually outspeeds, so we fall to Dark Pulse. Our second reindeer takes it down, but also falls to a huge close combat from Basimium. Sakura retaliates. I go for setting up, as I need to give myself enough time as possible for the one and only Santa. A simple drill peck is enough. It also survives a fire punch and a huge spin out, meaning we get it down to half before we fall. So it's a simple 1v1. Mr. Flibble will be the light to victory with air slashes with its physical defense bulked up. And thanks to Santa, we were able to see the end of the battle. What a victorious win, and I couldn't have done it with my 2 penguins. Team Star, Scamper, and Cassiopeia also lied, so she's on the naughty list too. And first things first is against the Elite Four with my team to become the very best trainer as well as Sleigh Rider. We take on the ground type user first, Rika, and she starts with Whiscash against Comet. A quad effective Hornleech takes it down. Next was Camerupt, and I switch out to Mr. Flibble, who, despite getting sleepy, we take it out before going to bed. So Donphan is next, and I switch back to Comet to tank the critical Earthquake, and heal back up with some more Hornleeches. The rest of his squad were easy to take care of, so let's continue to the next one. And that's Poppy and her Steel types. And this time around, Santa is up against Copperaja, and that was stupid of me. Cole, despite getting hit hard, we hold on just to finish off the elephant, though her Bronzong puts its misery out. This is not good. Rudolph is out to hit hard with Shadow Ball, taking out her Bell, and thanks to Corviknight using Iron Defense, we secure a free knockout to even the odds. I continue to chip away and stall out the light screen, and Mr. Flibble is able to take out the magnet, plus do huge damage, but it's not enough. And well, we really don't have any good moves against this. So unfortunately, that is indeed another loss. Though I go again, this time I send out Comet and chip with Double Kick as it goes for Stealth Rock. We live a huge heavy slam before taking it out with multiple kicks. Corviknight this time takes us down, however. Rudolph intimidates the bird and hits hard thunderbolts. The Raven falls, followed by her bell. Magnezone once again sets the light screen up before finishing us off with a flash cannon. Cole can now come out, take a huge flash cannon, as well as... Oh my days, this challenge is over. And well, I thought the challenge would be over until Mr. Flibble came with a clutch of a win. So next was Larry and his flying types. As we get closer and closer, I'm getting more and more nervous. Though Cole is first against Tropius, expecting the sunny day. Though he goes for Solar Beam. So I switch out to Santa to quad resist, followed by...
Try again.
Well, we connected on the second go before falling to a flamethrower from Altaria. Mr. Flibble, on the other hand, does big damage, taking the dragon out, but couldn't survive a close combat unlike before. Rudolph retaliates, and also falls. We keep throwing strong moves at each other until it's a 2v1. Flamigo terrastallizes, and I swear. We get the bird, thankfully, so Sakura can take easy throat chops and take down the bird. We got super lucky there. However, there is one more contender I know we would thrive against, Hassel and his dragon types. I send out Cole first against Noivern, probably a bad idea, but I depend on the others too much. Super Fang as well as Dragon Pulse was a little close for liking, but Power Gem takes it down. Dragalge will take us out, but I have an idea. Expecting the dragon move, I switch to Sakura, and I couldn't have been any more wrong. But we dodged the Sludge Bomb by switching to Mr. Flibble, who is ready to hit hard with Ice Beams. We take out Dragalge, and it was too short against Haxorus. I tried to be smart, switching, but that again didn't go well. Rudolph takes him out, but upon switching to Santa, we just barely hold on, and we can't outspeed. We eventually take out the apple, but upon Baxcalibur, I already admit defeat. This challenge was the challenge that really burnt me out. At this point, I am struggling. The one I felt so confident in, and I can't touch his ace. I try again, and this time crit the Noivern, and then switch to Mr. Flibble to eat a quad-resisted Hydro Pump. This time, Mr. Flibble cannot take care of the abomination and takes us down. And one by one, all of my Pokemon fall. I've gotten so far, but the team I've built just isn't up to scratch. But after hours of trying, it came down to two Pokemon, Santa and Sakura. I switch out to Sakura for free, so I charm its attack. And somehow the Snow Angels came into my favor. I said that way too soon. I got 2 in before falling, and Santa, well, misses by 1 HP. Oh my god. Finally. Yeah, that was a lot of challenging moments, and despite all odds, despite the champions supposed to be tougher, I'm at this stage burnt out. I'd lost all motivation to carry this on. But the only way to really see the light is to just do it! I start with Rudolph first against a Sparfra, and a critical Shadow Ball was just too short, which was devastating. We knock it down, forcing King Gambit out, and with its ability, I decide to sacrifice Rudolph here for a safe switch. And Santa was so close for a knockout, but Stone Edge is no joke around. So once again, we fall. Mr. Flibble retaliates and takes it down. Next was Avalok, and expecting Earthquake, I have to go for Comet. Oh, come off it now. We just survived, giving us a fighting chance to take down the iceberg, and although we fall to a priority Aqua Jet as well as Liquidation being too much for Sakura, Mr. Flibble is back out, and yeah, I'm losing the will right here. No, I keep going. Sakura taking out a Sparfra in 2 and do decent damage against King Gambit before Ironhead takes us down. Santa comes out to hit a quad effective Brick Break, which works much better. Go-Go comes out now, and Ice Spinner just falls short. We also take a Play Rough, but we take it down. The loser is out next and retaliates. However, Rudolph intimidates and sparks the fish with Thunderbolt. We also paralyze it, so it gives us the free opportunity to strike it down. I also wasn't expecting Sidekick to really do damage, but we take down Avalok with but only just. So when her ace gets put on the field, Rudolph has honestly done its job. So when we fall, I send out Mr. Flibble to deliver the final... I f***ing give up! Though eventually, after a very long time and a lot of upset, I finally managed to take down Geeta. But this took hours that I will never get back. So, please, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, because these new challenges are going to be a huge refresh for me and yourself. But for now, let's keep going. I meet back up with Clive, who is also on the naughty list with his disguise. With the rain up, Mr. Flibble does huge damage with a surf, but it goes for Yawn. So I switch to Santa to take a foul play and return to sender. Gyarados is next, so I switch back to Rudolph, which cuts the attack, and an Aqua Tail still takes us down. With that said, unfortunately the rest of my team fall, and it's at this point really starting to get to me. Could I still beat this challenge so far in? But I come straight back with the exact same tactic. Santa takes out Oranguru, Rudolph takes a crunch but retaliates with a Thunderbolt, Mr. Flibble takes out Houndoom after Fire Blast with a Surf, as well as hits hard with Flash Cannon on a Bombness note. However, the Aurora Veil gets put on the field, so Mr. Flibble chips away with Surfs as it fades away when it falls. So Santa comes back out and retaliates with Foul Play, once again leaving the cat. Ice Spinner just falls short and we go down the 2 Thunder Punches, but this is bad as it is in overgrow range, so Comet is out to activate Sap Sipper and take it out with Smart Strike. Probably the smartest play I have done all run, so with the cold given to the Liar, I press on to battle against Penny, also the real Cassiopeia. And thankfully this is a battle I enjoy. Umbreon is against Sakura, and we get a couple of good hits early on as it attempted Baby Doll Eyes. Flareon is next, so I switch out to Cold to quad resist the Flare Blitz, and take the opportunity to build up on my speed, or not. Regardless, we still take it down with Power Gem, which forces Vaporeon next. So I switch out to Mr. Flibble to dodge a Hydro Pump and connect a couple of Air Slashes, which was only just enough. Jolteon quick attacks us, taking down Mr. Flibble, though Comet, despite Baby Doll Eyes and the Paralysis, we take out the Bolt. Leafeon may as well finish us off with X-Scissor, so Santa can come out and hit a hard Drill Peck. And once our attack stat gets lowered down, I have to switch out to Rudolph to return to sender and eat the Leaf Blade. A Shadow Ball takes it down. So this leaves Sylveon, and despite how tough it is, our Sakura throws sand in his face before switching out to Santa to instantly fall. I'm seriously getting unlucky, but thankfully Cole is still here to save the day and to craft an infinite supply of coal for Team Star. So with them out of the way, I return home to meet Arvin at the lighthouse to find out what the professor is wanting, and upon preparing to head down to Area 0, we battle. His Chunky Squirrel is first against Cole, Body Press takes it down to half. We also take a huge Earthquake, but a second Squash on the Rodent puts it down under 6 foot. Mr. Flibble is next against Garganical, and again, we just fall short to Surf. We take a huge Earthquake and knock down the Salt Rock monster. Toadscruel is next, and I get outsped, going down. Santa gets his time to shine, taking a huge Sludge Bomb and knocking the Toad out with an Ice Spinner, and instantly melt to the Spicy Pepper monster. Cole isn't able to take it down either, though Comet, despite the weakness, is able to outspeed and eat the veg, as well as the Clam. This puts us in a good position against his dog. We switch to Rudolph to intimidate back, and eat the Fire Fang before switching back out to Sakura to eat the Crunch comfortably, and charm his attack before the light screen wears off. Now we can do damage, Moonlight being enough to break the dog's guard and winning us the match. Out of all the battles I have had, this was the battle I really needed to get my mojo back. Question is it going to be enough? Well, that question is going to get answered when we go head to head against Nemona, and her team is pretty strong. As usual, she starts with her Wolf, and thanks to her missing Stone Edge, this gives us an easy lead. Next was her Pawmot, and expecting close combat, I switch out to Sakura, and it still does quite a lot more than I thought. This triggers Double Shock when I reverse back to Comet, and that did not go well as I thought we would outspeed. However, Rudolph intimidates before retaliating with Sidekick. The Dunsparce does get its head mushed up, but even that wasn't enough. So Mr. Flibble comes out with a Surf, and when Oriflamme is out, I switch to Cole to eat a huge Earthquake. Though we take it down with Flamethrower, thankfully. Cole has thankfully done its job here, so Santa comes out to deal with the dragon, an Ice Spinner, Uh-oh. Sakura finishes the job, leaving a Skeledirge. And well, it comes down to if we can get it to miss. So I use Sand Attacks. Well, try to, but it outspeeds. This is not good at all. With its special stat raised twice, so Pingu is out, and 2 surfs were enough to take out the Singing Crocodile and makes us the best Pokemon trainer in all of Paldea. Well, almost. There just remains one last thing. To help Arvin in his final journey. To grab his father out of Area Zero for Christmas. I won't lie, considering how difficult the endgame really has been for us, I don't know if we can do it, but let us know down below in the comments if you think we can beat the final boss. Also, I know you'll say, oh, use Iron Bundle, but the point is, if Marill in the Rodents run could have beaten Scarlet and Violet, so can the Santa of Pokemon. Iron Moth is first, and I send out Cole to eat a little discharge and hit a quad effective Earth Power. Next was Iron Thorns, and Comet recovers after Stone Edge with a Horn Leech, 2-0. Iron Juggler comes out and hits Rudolph with a strong Dark Pulse, and we fall. And so does Santa, and despite Cole hitting hard, he too couldn't defeat him. Now we're struggling. Sakura thankfully equalizes the match. We also hit a huge Moonblast on Iron Hands, and sadly that wasn't enough, though Comet was able to finish and recover a little more. Next was my Penguin against his Penguin, and well, he gets the freeze, and the match was set to Toro. That went terribly wrong, but I try again, and this time it went even worse thanks to paralysis, though we hold on and take Iron Moth down, and Robot Godzilla as usual takes us down. Though Mr. Flibble retaliates with a Surf to break the bolts, and then switch to Rudolph to intimidate towards a Fake Out, which is lucky. 2 Sidekicks bring him down. Iron Juggler is out, so Mr. Flibble returns to hit 2 hard Ice Beams. I was really hoping for the freeze, but we switch to Rudolph when Iron Bundle enters the field, and despite the critical freeze dry, I cannot be. Sakura tanks through the snow and takes it out, leaving Iron Valiant. I don't think we're going to get it here. And Moonlight was just enough to finish it off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm going to be honest, this was my hardest challenge yet, and I have to admit, I really was on the verge of giving it up. I haven't felt burnt out on a challenge before, so I really hope you enjoyed the video regardless. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, take care, and I'll see you all in the new year for new challenges. Bye-bye!